Hello, I'm Mac Benj. This is Dougie. This is Dougie. And this is Holly Packer, who is also my mom. And she's a teacher. She's taught kindergarten and before, like at birth and
Birth
all
to
these
program.
things. Yeah. And all the way up to high school and a little bit of college. And she's here with me today to talk about rigor, which is, something that's complicated and some people don't understand. So we're here to talk about like what that means and how to understand it better. So,
Good morning.
good morning. Who are you? Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I'm Holly. I'm Mac's mom. I'm here to talk about rigor.
Okay. So, how do you, as a teacher, implement rigor in your classroom?
Rigor is something. It's not something that's black and white, and it's very complicated and convoluted to address. A lot of my colleagues think that it's about just in the curriculum where the lesson and you go to the next step and then you go to the next step and you push to the next step. But rigor is more of an internal process for the students, and it's more developmental skill based than curriculum goals and objective based. So when the brain research shows that when students are learning, they have skills. They have several skills that you're teaching all at the same time. And when you're focused on one specific skill, that to increase it, you're learning that. But then as human beings, when you learn something new, something that you already know decreases, and then you learn a little more, and then you decrease a little more. And sometimes it goes like this if you're learning something really complicated, and then it comes back together, and then it does this a little bit, it always rebounds a little bit, and then it comes here, and then they go together. And so when they talk about students internalizing their learning and getting to that high level of thinking, that's when the skill has done this, and then it's done this, and it's back to here, and now you're at the higher level of thinking, and they're growing up together. And so it's a delicate dance to do that with each student, because each student is at a different level and in a different spot with the different skills. So my rigor that I use is I focus on the academic skill that the curriculum is telling me to teach, but I do it in their developmental piece, and I provide the scaffolding. I have a high level of scaffolding for this skill that I give them, and then I have a low level of scaffolding for this skill that I still am providing for them even though they already know it. And I create an environment that gets them to go like this, and I want that to happen fairly quickly because I want it to feel awkward to them so that I can label that for them so they know what that is. So they go boop and they get it. And then as I remove the scaffolding to get their confidence in this skill, I'm adding the scaffolding so that they don't have to think about getting this skill, because this is a skill they already know. They've got it. They just losing it right now, and so I want to make it easy for them to get it again. And then I provide the opportunity for them to go like this, but then that's not just rigor is over. A lot of my colleagues think that that's when it's over. You give them the scaffolding, then you remove it, and then they've got it. That's just the first step in it, because then you have to give them the opportunity to use it together and to use it on their own and to implement that higher level of thinking and build. So the scaffolding is fluid. You go back and forth and you start building that up so then they can do it intentionally and on their own.
So, how does rigor specifically perform higher levels of thinking with your students? How does it help students think at a higher level?
I do that for like the whole year. At the beginning of the year, I'm basically giving everything is scaffolded to the extreme, and I'm giving them everything but I'm labeling it for them and telling them what's happening. And so when they're feeling that in their brain, they have a label for it. And then I remove that a little bit each time. So by they say between January and spring break is like the magical time of teaching, because during that time I then have removed all of my scaffolding. I have labels, quick little cue sets to touch so that they can engage in that, and then they begin to control that. And in that time, I'm just giving them a cue set and say this, and then they're internalizing their learning, and they're using that higher level of thinking to progress their own skills in that time frame. So it's kind of you can do it individually in each lesson daily, but it's kind of a big thing that you build up for in all year.
Oh. And is there any other advice that we'd like to give to college students that are learning how to be teachers about rigor, or about just, teaching in general?
Teaching is amazing. I love teaching, and I love when they're faced, when they learn a new skill, but when they internalize it, that higher level thinking, that piece, when they get it and they know that they've done it on their own. And rigor is a huge piece to that, and it's embedded in everything. And it's awesome. It's awesome.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Bye.